Hello, everyone. Matt Malatesta, Matthew Ogle. This week, our Whataburger team of the week is Kingwood Mustangs. Has to be the Kingwood Mustangs baseball team. They win a state championship. Kudos to the Mustangs, winning baseball, winning softball. Amazing year they had. They ran the gauntlet in Region 3, Division 2, 6A. Holy cow, they beat some really good teams. Okay, keys to the win, keys to that team all season.
They've just flown under the radar, and I think people have underestimated them. Tom Ball clearly had went into that stage with all the confidence in the world after winning it last year. They got a phenomenal set of pitchers, but Kingwood, they just kept rattling off those hits. They kept on getting those bases that were needed. They had a huge fifth inning, scoring 4 runs to separate themselves from Tom Ball. Tom Ball chipped away at it, and they got me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. Had bases loaded in the bottom of the 7th with the opportunity to walk it off, potentially. But they went through, and like Coach Oro said, all we needed was one more than they did, and that's the way it went.
Well, congrats to Kingwood Mustangs. What a season. What a year they've had, from football to softball to baseball. ISD for that matter. Congrats. You are the VYPE Whataburger Team of the Week. The last one of the year, 24-25 season is over. That's a wrap. All right, Matt Malatesta, Matthew Ogle. See you next year. What's going on, everybody? Matt Malatesta, Matthew Ogle, Jackson DePasquale. 24-25 season over. All right, stories of the year, biggest moments of the year. Let's start first in the fall. My biggest moment was Randall winning a state championship under Coach Randall at Randall, the school where his dad is named after, who was the longtime superintendent. Not that it came out of nowhere, but a little bit it kind of came out of nowhere. There's so many great 5A teams across the state. They end up making this whole thing happen and win a state championship. Thoughts?
Yeah, and they still have a lot of that talent coming back too, which is kind of scary.
Yeah. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think Randall was the story there. All year long, coming into the year, we had predicted them to be maybe the top team coming out of the city, and then they really proved that throughout the year. Obviously, had a close playoff win against Iowa Colony. That was maybe whoever wins that game would make it to state, but they ended up getting it done, finished the perfect season off. Coach Randall gets to celebrate, handing that trophy to his dad after the game. Kind of special moment there. So it was kind of cool seeing Randall, and I believe the first 4 or 5 years of their program being around, win a state championship.
Huge deal. And you're right, they have a lot of good players coming back. North Shore falls short of reaching the state finals. They reached the state semis, and they kind of got punched in the mouth by Westlake, which was interesting. Volleyball is pivot to that. Grand Oaks wins back-to-back state championships. But they had a really cool thing that happened in UIL sports where they opened up another division, or all these divisions, D1, D2. So we saw the likes of Stratford going deep. We saw the lights of College Park going deep. They've never been there. Neither has Stratford in ever. And Grand Oaks wins the big division of 6A. That was really cool. Back-to-back titles. Can they win a third?
As long as they, at first I was thinking, Samara Coleman graduated, but obviously Hallie Thompson's still there. Callie Reese is still there. They're very well coached. I don't think they'll have to contend. And Fulshere's still going to be good. I don't think they'll have to contend with them, though. I think they can go to maybe at least, they can go back to the Colwell Center. I would believe so.
Is that the story of the year? Of course, it's got to be.
For the fall, definitely going back to back in such a loaded Division 1. That was extremely impressive to witness.
Any other fall stories you've been in love with?
Yeah, I think you look at what I believe Cy Falls won their district this year. That was something that wasn't predicted. They're in a district with Cy Fair, Memorial, Stratford, Jersey Village, Cy Creek. They came in and kind of dominated, and they went 2 rounds deep. Also, you saw Katie Jordan make history this year.
You're talking football.
Yeah, talking football. Katie Jordan goes 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. That was the first time they'd ever gone 3 rounds deep. So there were lots of kind of big storylines there in football. But I think volleyball, talking about Grand Oaks, when's the last time a team has gone back to back to back? That I can't think
Never
of a
in
team.
Houston.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a team in Houston that has done that. So they've got history in the making going there, and they're another young program. School has been around within the past 7-8 years now, but like they've already won 2. Can they go 3 in a row?
So Woodlands High School won back-to-back state championships in the VYPE era under Coach Leslie Madison, which was amazing. And now Grandare's got a chance.
I think Shadow Creek, that was a big story too. Obviously, Mackenzie Collins has since graduated, but they just brought in this girl named Amaya Love from St. Agnes. She has another little dimension towards that team. I think they're going to be a sleeper to reach state this year. It also depends on who they play in terms of their region.
Yeah. Winter stories. How many teams did we get? Well, okay, the story of the year was Summer Creek girls basketball winning state.
With their first year coach.
Wow, first year head coach. They didn't look coming off the bus like a girls basketball team we were scared of. But man, when they clamped you down with that press, they could really do some damage.
I think they came back from 20 points against Cedar Hill.
Wild.
Crazy. Kennedy Simpson had like you said, that physically you don't see them as super imposing. They're kind of more athletic and maybe well-conditioned and strategic players, but the way that they came back, it just goes to show you the fighting spirit that coach has kind of brought up in them.
Yeah, I realized that we had them on the podcast also. They were cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just cool kids. Boys basketball. Did Houston win a state championship? No. 5 teams in the state finals. 5 teams.
That was impressive.
It was impressive, but I thought kind of the story of the year may have been Jordan basketball. I thought they had a great season. Charlie Jones, great coach there, but they were so senior heavy. I don't know what they do this year. But you had Fort Bend Marshall, of course, had a great year. Booker T.
Bel Air.
Oh, Bel Air, what a season they had with Shelton Henderson. Now he's off to Miami. But
I think
thoughts on basketball.
I think the real story of the year for boys basketball is Wheatley. Wheatley kind of came out of nowhere for us. We didn't necessarily see them making it to that state final. They ended up getting there. You also saw Stafford get there. Stafford, I believe, they had 1 loss or was undefeated going into that state championship game. Mm-hmm. So you saw those 2 teams. You saw Bel Air, obviously, with the last second shot, just barely missed it. So it's just, I think HISD is the story for boys basketball this year, getting Booker T as well. So I believe they got 3 teams there going to play at the state championship. So I think Houston ISD is the story of boys basketball this year.
And then we kind of transitioned into, so wrestling. We had the Woodlands wrestler, that girls wrestler who won state again, and she's off to wrestle in college.
Riley Rayom, is that how you pronounce her last name?
What a great career she's had, man.
3 straight championships.
Yeah, that was really a very cool story. Transitioning to swimming. There were some Houston area teams that did well in swimming, some individual
Friendswood, that KK LeBlanc did really well. Klein had a fantastic year. I think they won the overall championship, if I'm not mistaken.
And then, then we go to the spring track.
You forgot about soccer.
Did I forget about soccer? I did.
Klein Kane boys soccer making it all the way and winning against, A-Leaf Elsick playing in the 6A D1 too. Damn, fantastic year. On the girls' side, Stratford made it. Fortunately, I think they lost to, I believe it was Flower Mound Marcus or Capel, one of those 2. But Klein Kane boys soccer, hats off to them. I think, it was the first ever championship for that school.
That was a big story.
Yeah, that is a big story.
Big story.
Big story.
Huge. Klein Kane. And then they had a great baseball season.
Oh, yeah.
But Klein Kane soccer, dude, they're completely off the grid. And they had a new coach as well, which was so wild. And then, I do love Elsick. They get around soccer, boys soccer. And the coach over there is amazing. Great promoter of that program.
Defeating the 2-time defending champ, Seven Lakes. I think it was in the regional final. Or
big crowd, too.
Yes.
Massive crowd. Vincenzo Cox. Yes. That's a soccer name. So then we move on to the spring.
Let's go to track.
Okay, we'll go to track. Track and field. Iowa Colony. Was there any other team that really even ran track this year? They had an amazing season. Iowa Colony, Fort Bend Marshall. Then we had
Shadow Creek.
Shadow Creek. Then we had the twins at Summer Creek. Crazy.
Atascocita.
The Maxwell twins.
Yes.
Unbelievable. We could do an entire segment on track. That was just amazing.
There's so many individuals that stood out from all over the place. Like
that was crazy.
Like Naomi Booker from Tomball, I think she won 2 events, and then Andrew Jones from Klein Collins, he won both of the hurdling events. And I don't know. I mean, like I remember you telling me like you've never seen anything like that before, like such dominance across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, track, it's I don't know, it's where. I forgot who told me this quote. It said, "The numbers don't lie. You can't fake anything in that sport."
Yeah, you're running against the clock.
The other thing is you saw 2 freshmen in the 100-meter this year from Houston as well, placed 4th and 5th. You also saw Richard Lee place 3rd in the 100-meter from Dickinson as well. But seeing the 2 freshmen, I mean, the freshman from CE King, Dylan Mitchell, kind of took the track world by storm when he ran a 10:02 100-meter. I believe that was in early March. So that just showed you how fast the track season was going to be. Obviously, the kid from Harlan ended up winning it all, and the Duncanville's Braden Williams won 2nd. But you saw Houston have quite a few guys in that 100-meter and younger guys too.
Yeah, I mean, it is healthy here in Houston. Speed City, that's what we call it. Okay, so then also in track, we can't fail to mention Bailey Minor of Fort Bend Christian Academy, the all-time winner of gold in taps, I believe, and in all of
the state
track.
of Texas.
Yeah.
16 gold medals in her career. I think she tied it with, I'm going to have to ask Dion once they get here. I forgot her name. But
yeah, but there's a girl like in West Texas or
it was
something like that.
Rudolph. I think that was her last name. But, I mean, yeah, phenomenal.
What a career.
For the first time in 4 or 3 years, the girls didn't win it all. Which Dion, I mean, they were right there. Minuscule boys won it. Congrats to them in taps. If we're talking golf, individually, we had a lot of champions. We had Addie Serber from Lake Creek, and then
the Grand
Oaks kid Asher Vargas.
Yeah, he won state. That was crazy. Yeah.
And
on
then,
a shortened event. They only played 1 round because of weather.
Yeah, and then in private school, both Jamison Louis and Eli Walker Campbell from FBCA won it all per the usual. I don't know too much about golf. I can't hit a ball to save my life, but it's impressive that you get that many individual champs from such a huge selection, especially from those Dallas teams.
So then softball, what a year. Just a super fun year to watch. You know, Lake Creek go undefeated, win a state championship. Kingwood get to the state semis last year, win a state championship this year.
I think that like this was the perfect I've said it before, the spring is where we flourish, and this was the first time I see where the divisions actually helped us out. Maybe basketball was where those new split divisions helped us out too, but this time around we actually had some success with it. Like you said, Lake Creek going undefeated. They're probably going to be our team of the year as much as I love Kingwood. And I mean, I think the overarching best school from this year was Barbers Hill, because if you think about it, their football team was really good. They have a pretty good swimming program. Their girls basketball team reached the state semifinal.
Yeah.
Their girls soccer team reached the state semifinals. Their softball and baseball teams reached the state semifinals, with the softball reaching
the state finals and lose to Melissa, which is the number 1 team in the country.
But they barely lost to them. That was the thing. And I was rooting for them, of course, but good for you, Barbers Hill.
Yeah, they really do well over there. New athletic director, also Cody Semper, coming over from Sidewoods. That'll be interesting to see how he keeps it going. Great facilities over there as well.
Yes.
Anything else on softball that you loved?
Yeah,
Clear Springs.
I think
Springs.
The story of the year is Clear Springs. Clear Springs kind of came out of nowhere. I believe y'all had them in your top.
They were number 18.
They were so they were top 20.
Yes.
We didn't know what to kind of expect. They ended up taking down number 1 Katy. They ended up just beating some teams that, we wouldn't have predicted them to beat and make it to the state championship. Obviously, they fell short, but I think that's the story.
And Midway's as good as it gets, but I mean, hats off to them. I was I mean, they're still bringing back a lot of
How
people.
many freshmen? You can't predict that they're going to be that good when you have like daggum 3 freshmen that
At
hitting
the-
bombs and killing people.
I mean, hats
They
off.
were in 8th grade last year.
Congrats to Jennifer Knight for anticipating that and sending some of these freshmen to the state photo shoot. I knew about Ariana Garcia. Aaron Polite was a fun, developing story, and obviously she hit the walk-off homer. But then you got, let's see, Mackenzie Thomas, a freshman. You got Ariana's younger sister, Alyssa Garcia, who showed up in the big moments. We said it before, they don't have like the national recognition that they deserve because you have maybe a few like smaller level commits with Polite going to Florida A&M, Garcia going to Abilene Christian, but
They just put it together.
and they punch teams in the mouth. And one of the coolest stories was they have 3 sets of siblings in their starting lineup with the Strevers and the Colianis
Yeah.
and the Garcias. But you never see that. You never see that.
That was wild.
But reaching the state final, it was a tough ask to defeat Midway, but
Alex was on site when the shot was heard from around the world.
oh yeah.
When Polite hits a bomb to win and knock off Katie. And did we see it coming? I knew there was going to be a magical moment. And I texted our other guy, Tyler, who has a niece that plays for Clear Springs. And I'm like, here it comes, here it comes. Sure enough. Katie is snake bit. They're snake bit in softball. They are amazingly talented. But when it gets to them big games, they let the other team have that moment.
Yeah.
What?
But, and as I predicted, my Kingwood Mustangs won it all
Yeah, that was good.
from the get-go.
What he did? Maybe you need a VYPE award. Maybe we should just give a VYPE
Give a
award
VYPE
to
award.
Matthew Ogle,
Kingwood native.
Kingwood native.
Who called it all? On
Baseball wise, another great run by Kingwood boys, going through a very tough area to region to get to state and win it. Nothing super sexy on that team, but they just play great complementary baseball and hit the ball timely. You have to hit in baseball. And I don't care if it's a freaking bunt. I don't care what it is. You got to get people on base, move them over, and have timely hitting. That was their winning formula.
They were very tactical. I'll give them that. Well coached by second year and Kingwood alum Michael Oros, but they had some guys. I mean, you say like they're kind of similar to Clear Springs in the aspect that they I wouldn't say they came out of nowhere. Like we knew they had some people, but they went 38-3 if I'm not mistaken,
crazy.
maybe 39-3, and they just were on a hot streak. They were determined, on a mission. They accomplished that. I wish some more Houston teams accomplished that. We had Tascasita reaching
Great
it
run.
in 6A D1. Then we had Kingwood Park reaching it in D2,
Out of
5A.
nowhere.
And we had, like I said, Barbers Hill reaching the state semis. So we had so many teams reaching
Memorial
it.
had a great year. Memorial was like the number 1 team in Texas for a while. Who else was the number 1 team in Texas? The Woodlands. Remember how good they were?
Oh, yeah.
Did they lose to Klein Kane? I think they lost to Klein Kane.
They lost to them in the second round.
Klein Kane, another
that one too.
huge season for baseball. Just what? They
I
went
believe
like
they made it to the state
4
semifinal
rounds
as well.
deep.
Yeah, they reached the
Regional finals.
regional finals. Yeah. They lost to the eventual champion Midway.
Yeah. Wow, what a year. Okay. So my moment of the year was the Clear Springs home run in softball to beat Katy. What was your moment of the year? Can't be the same moment.
Dang
Nope.
it.
Can't be the same moment.
I guess I'll go with Kingwood.
Kingwood boys,
Kingwood girls.
softball.
Kingwood softball with Coach Williams Yates. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm going being on the field. Alex and I at the state championship game, rushing over South Oak Cliff, less than 10 seconds, hops on the field, kicks a field goal, misses it. I look at the clock. I'm like, why are we running on the field? Oh, it's at 0. I see Alex take off next to me. I'm taking off. We're getting all the celebration. Randall winning their first state title. That's my moment. It was nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Huge moment. That was a huge moment. Them winning, Grand Oaks winning. A lot of
That was a lot.
A lot of wins in Houston this year.
The what?
A lot of wins.
A lot of wins. The trophy case got full up this weekend. All right, or this year. All right. Jackson, Matt, Alex, great season. Stay tuned. We got a bunch of stuff coming up this summer as it relates to cool interviews and recruiting and upcoming football previews and volleyball. So stay tuned, like and subscribe all the time to our YouTube channel, and follow all of our social media channels in Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, Southeast Texas. This is Matt. We'll see y'all at the games.